Finally got the Audi R8 in the garage and ready for a full drift build. All right, so I'm gonna try my best to document this whole build, and we're gonna do it in stages. So right now the car is in the fabrication and mock-up stage. So what we're gonna do is jump right into building the roll cage. From the roll cage, it's gonna go mounting the fuel cell. After that, we're gonna jump on to mounting the 2JZ onto the Audi transmission and then mounting that into the car, seeing how that fits. Move on to suspension and angle kit, but let's start with the roll cage first. So right off the rip, this thing has a carbon composite cab mixed with aluminum. So half of it's aluminum and half of it's carbon. So making a roll cage is gonna be quite interesting. Can't really just weld base plates. So there's that. And some history about this thing. It was hit in the front end. So once we build the full roll cage and make the car structurally strong, I'm gonna cut more of the damaged area out. And then we're gonna blend it in with the roll cage and then mount the subframe and the angle kit onto that. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this back firewall is gonna have to be either cut out or modified, or we're gonna have to make a new one because I don't think the engine's gonna fit. At least it has to go from like that deck up and get boxed in or modified. The back firewall will need to be cut out to make the JZ fit. Also, was looking at where we're gonna make the roll cage and all my pickup points. Kind of want the bar to sit inside this channel. And then looking through here, there's a frame right down there. So we're probably gonna cut out a hole there, fit the roll cage through there onto a base plate right onto the main frame of the chassis. Also did some homework and found some people with like Lamborghini, Huracan, Super Trofeos, and their base plates are just welded aluminum base plates with 4 bolts on it with a steel base plate, and then they roll out from there. So that's probably what I'm gonna do on this. I was making my marks to clear the 2J to chop out the firewall and ran into this. For anyone that thinks that they're not the same firewall, that's for sure. I wonder what else is stamped. Make sure if you're doing any type of carbon fiber cutting, make sure you're wearing a face mask and respirator. Oh, there's a bracket holding that piece. Pretty thick. And now you can see the engine bay better. All right, well, believe it or not, here's the roll cage. Or what's going to be the roll cage, minus the surface rust. I bought this like 6 months ago. Looks like the sun is setting, and I only got one tube done. But this is enough to do the main hoop. I'll clean those other ones when we're ready for more tubes. So the bender I have is a Rogue Fab air over hydraulic. And I'm also going to be using Bendtech. It's a software for fabricating and bending tube. My buddy Will Crane put me on this like 6 or 7 years ago, and this is amazing. If you're going to be doing any fabricating or tube work, get this. It's super easy, simple, it's pretty cheap. I'm just going to bend the main hoop and show you guys why it's so simple. Once you open up Bendtech, it's going to ask you which die you have, as in which tube bender you have. It's going to have all of the dies, all the tube benders in here. So you select which one you have, which material you're going to be using. We're going to select the template. We're going to be doing the main hoop right now. So it gives you all the options of how many bends. We're on the 4 bend, so it's going to give us all the 4 bend options. Those are the 1 bend, 2 bend, so on and so forth. So I'm going to select the main hoop. We're going to select the outer pickup point for our measurements. Okay. So we're going to select our material, 1.5" DOM. Got the Rogue Fab tube bender. And now it has our template. And this is where it gets easy. We're going to go and see where our pickup points are going to be at, and we're going to put in our measurement here. We're going to measure from our base plate to our roof there, so on and so forth on the car. Inside cab of this thing is pretty tiny, and I'm 6'3", so I want the main hoop to sit as far back as possible. Usually it would start here, but I drilled out holes for the roll cage to fit through and hit my base plates, which I want my base plates to be pretty much right here-ish. So from base plate to base plate, I got 52.5, and that buys me some room to weld around the edges. So just measured the base plate to the highest point of the roof, and we ended up with 40 inches. .42 from here to there. From the roof to this point, I'm getting 16. So I'm just gonna put 16 right there. I'm gonna put 54. 54. Next one is 42. 16. 40. And our last number is going to be 52.5. That right there is the main hoop. That's simple. It's going to tell you your cut length right up top. So cut your piece to 119 9/16. Our first mark on our tube is going to be 17 inches and 15/16, and that is going to be bent to 22 degrees. 17, 15/16 at 22 degrees. Bend 2 is going to be at 32 inches. And it's going to be 69. Bend 3, 72, 69. Then bend 4, 89, and 13/16 at 22 degrees. Got all our marks on the pipe. This is gonna have some spring back, so I'm gonna have to go like more and then it's gonna come back. So we need 22, I'm gonna go to like 25. So we got 4 base plates in, we got the main hoop in, and we got both A-pillar bars in. It's slowly starting to look like a race car. I went and got more material for the A-pillar bars because I want to make base plates for the top A-pillars and weld dimple dies to the roll cage. Some of these areas that are strictly carbon fiber, I'm going to weld gussets to the roll cage and then use panel bond, rib nuts, and JB Weld to secure it down. I know it sounds crazy, but this whole car is literally just caulked and glued together. Look at that. My favorite car parts. Every drift build needs a handbrake and coilovers. Check these out. This thing looks like it's from the future. DCT shifter handbrake. This model is the 470 GTE in matte black. Dude, it's so light and it looks so insane. Can't wait to try it out. Got some silvers, coilovers, Neomax, 24 dampening, fully adjustable. I love these things. I run the same ones on my 240 and on the Mercedes drift car. These two are gonna make mock-up and fabricating a lot easier, especially when we get to the front steering angle and subframe. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video. Hopefully next week we'll have more of the roll cage in, some dimple dies, and start getting the engine ready to test fit and maybe do some fabrication on that. I know for a fact that this transmission doesn't clear that rear cross member back here. So we will have to cut that out and modify it. That's gonna wrap up everything for this week's video. I'll see you guys next week for part 2.